What's up, Team NBL? It's Music by Lucas.
And Lauren C. Ray, DJ filmmaker, DJ producer, and this week's talk is about
how to email big labels.
And if you can't tell, yes, we are still here in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Lucas's song is coming out on Spinnin copyright free August 31st, so we've been doing like a lot of meetings, meeting with some labels, and we just figured it'd be the perfect time to really kind of cover how to contact labels and how to send them an email, what should be in the email, etc. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. All right, so you have a track you're like so proud of and you think it's amazing. You want to send it on to a label, but you don't know where to start. You don't know the label's email. You don't know what label to send it to. Well, that's pretty easy. Just, I would say, figure out who your track sounds similar to, what artist, and what labels have they been signed to, because
that's going to help you figure it out. Yeah, and there's other resources like labelbase.net and 1001 Tracklist, which will be super helpful. Labelbase.net actually lists all the different labels by genre, so you can search things like if you know you do future house, you can search future house labels, you can search tropical house labels, and start figuring out which ones you want to send to. It shows you the links to their SoundCloud, you can see how many followers they have.
And it has like their email address and everything written there, so they can grab that email, and that's where you would send your demo to.
Yeah, and you can also, if you think that the info, like let's say the email for the label is there, but you know that it's like the wrong email, maybe they have a new email, you can actually submit an update so that you can, it's like a collaborative website, so that's cool. Really cool.
And once you get what labels you want to send to, I would like create an Excel spreadsheet where you would like list the labels and maybe list what tracks you sent them to, what dates you sent them on.
If they listened, if they responded.
Yeah, if they replied, what they said, that sort of thing to keep track of, because further down the line, you believe me, you're going to forget. And it's just going to be a really good reference to who you sent it to, when,
You also want to start weeding out like labels that are not like active anymore. Like you could search future house labels, there could be like 200 that show up, but maybe there's only 10 that are actually good. And one of the best ways to figure out which ones are good is by going to 1001 Tracklist, trying to figure out, like search a track on there from that label and see if it's getting support, see if it's getting plays, see if it's getting spots on radio shows. This will help you.
Kind of like a good way to research and make sure it's a good label, basically.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what goes in your email? Very good question. We're going to talk about it. We're going to tell you exactly what goes in the email, but now we're going to head to
the weekly highlights.
Okay, so we just introduced something called the Artist Coaching Platform. If you guys haven't checked it out, head to the website. You can literally do a one-on-one Skype coaching with all different artists that have all different skill sets. It's really, really awesome. And it's 10% off if you book until, what?
August 31st.
August 31st,
yeah,
right.
You can learn mastering, you can learn sound design, you can learn, all of it one-on-one with big artists that are already signed, so definitely go check it out. We also have our team vlog, and team vlog, we go visit another DJ and producer studio. I started working on a collab, so there's a lot of details in there about that.
It's really, really fun. Go watch that. Don't forget to be checking out our Instagrams. We do daily content there, so this YouTube video, maybe it's just once or twice a week, but the Instagrams, it's every single day. And Lucas has an IGTV about if you have to be Dutch to make it.
Yeah, if you have to be Dutch to make it as a DJ producer. It's an interesting topic. And if you want to see that or any of the other stuff we talked about, or the secret link of the week, all of that is in the description below.
Now back to the normal programming.
So now we need to talk about the most important part, which is what to say and how to send your email to the label. So record labels have two different types of emails. They have public emails, which is like demos@recordlabel.com, and they have private direct emails like Bob at
That's like directly to the A&R. Now those emails are probably harder to come by, but through connects and through other ways that we've discussed in other videos, we can go into that some other time, you can get that A&R email, so that's really good. But you say you'd maybe like start with the public one.
Yeah, you start with the public one and see if anyone responds, because if they reply, most likely it's going to be from a direct email, and then you want to, of course, save that.
Put that on that list we were talking about before, the weekly highlights, where you keep track. That would be where you'd add that email and be like, this is the one. Because
those kind of emails are not listed like on labelbase.net.
Yeah, good to keep track of too.
Yeah, and you can also find those like if you collab with someone else, they might have a connection with that A&R, and then once they include you, like they CC you like on the email, then you can also take that email address and put it on your list as well.
That's kind of how you find out on those. And then what goes in the email, you want to introduce yourself, not a long like biography of like that you were born and you were and you were doing this and doing that, and then you discovered music, and it's like it's too much information. They don't know what you want. They just probably give up, don't read the whole email. They don't have a lot of time, remember guys. They're really, really busy. So short and sweet and to the point, very direct. So I would say your name, maybe your best pitch, like a really quick thing about yourself that makes you unique. Maybe a recent, you've been signed to another label recently or something.
Supported by another artist.
Supported, something like that. Then quickly add the...
Yeah, you want to add one SoundCloud private link. So one SoundCloud private track link. You don't want to add 10. You don't want to attach an MP3 or a WAV. And the reason for that is because you need to be able to tell if they actually listen to the track. If you attach an MP3 or a WAV file, there's no way for you to really tell if they listen to it. Nice. Whereas if you attach the private link, then you can keep track, and you can also see which A&R listened to it. Because like if you send it to a big label like Spinnin or Armada, there's tons of A&Rs. So you might send it to like info@biglabel.com, and you could see like the different names, like, oh, this guy James listened to it, and Ralph listened to it.
Nice.
And you get to see.
And then notate that on your notes that we were talking about earlier. Like the notes are like the most important thing, honestly. I really do think. After that, in your email, make sure to add a call to action, like looking forward to hearing back from you, or something like that. Your feedback, really like something like that. Yeah, just make sure you tell them what you want from them next, because they'll listen and then maybe do nothing. But if you put it out there like this is what you want from them, but in a nice way, of course. Then they will be like, all right, maybe he wants a response. You won't always get a response, but it's really good to see if they listen, like Lukas said. That's feedback enough to put in your list, like no reply, but I got this many listens. Like all of these are just clues to discover the mystery of what it is to be in this career. I swear.
It gives you more information. Like if they listened but they didn't reply, it probably wasn't the right fit for them.
Maybe not the right fit. Maybe it wasn't like the best track. Maybe you know, it's just clues, because I feel like a lot of times you're just sitting there like clueless of what to do next, or like what's going on. You sent your email, like we get comments or like questions all the time, like I've tried to come in contact with these people or get, you know, my music heard by blah blah blah, and no response. Well, tweak it, tweak the email, tweak the song, tweak all your little things to discover like if the answer or the solution back is different. That's how you discover what works.
And don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because you're never going to know this information if you don't actually email them, and you have nothing to lose.
You really don't. They get hundreds of these all the time, so they're not going to be like specifically remembering you and your name and your track was terrible. It's like, no, not necessarily. So, you know, just take the chance. I mean, you have to take the chance in this type of career. That's what it's all about. And don't feel bad if something doesn't happen, because everything takes a really long time. I mean, Mesto, Mike Williams, any of these people, they went through some rejection as well, so you're not alone in that.
I went through rejection.
He still does, whatever he's talking about.
If anything else that we didn't talk about has worked for you and you'd like to share it with everybody else, be sure to comment that below.
And if you're new here and not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, because we're going to be doing videos like this to help you guys further your music career. And also, don't forget, on our Instagram, we do daily content. We do daily, just more things like this, like tips and tricks.
Interviews with artists.
Stuff like that'll help you as well, in case you need something every day.
And if you want to listen on the go, these are also available on SoundCloud. So if you're on the train, you're on a plane,
you
don't
have
in a car,
time to like
wherever,
look at the YouTubes, and you want to just hear it.
You want to fall asleep to our voices.
I mean, that's cool. SoundCloud, we got everything on SoundCloud too. All right, that's it. That's it. Okay.
See you guys next week. See you tomorrow on Instagram. Later.
Bye.